Whose dog is that?
Whose dog is this?
Oh, that's another story.
Oh, okay. I guess we could say it's a recording. Oh yeah, it is recording.
It's a recent story.
Is it
too,
recording?
So.
Oh no. Is that a good story or a bad story?
It's
a fun story.
Okay.
Don't strain yourself.
Welcome. I always do. I'm constantly strained and stressed. Welcome to another episode of Thank You For Your Services podcast, the podcast dedicated to the working world, sometimes the military, because that's what I do, and we have no idea what Tommy does. So today we have a very special guest. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Josh. I'm the roaster here at Little Goat Coffee Roasting.
Okay.
I'm Nick. I'm the cafe manager of Little Goat.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So, Little Goat, this is a coffee shop that's been around since
17?
17, yeah. We just celebrated our 5-year birthday on the 9th of September.
I want to say 9th.
It's
Okay.
the 9th.
It's
Have
the
you guys
9th.
been here? Have you guys been here since it's open?
I know Josh has.
I've been
Not since open.
Soon after?
Yeah, we were open for like a year and a half before we started, maybe.
Yeah,
Really?
Relatively. I started
here-
in August 2019.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then I started March 2019.
Yes.
So we were
Damn.
open for a little bit before me and Nick came in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys work every day, pretty much?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Like 7 days a week?
Or
Or six
no,
days-
we get
6
2
days?
days off.
Oh, you do? You
we-
get 2 days off?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. But like, you know, there's always something to be done.
Yeah, like that's I'm 5 days, but I'm technically 6, just to round
Right.
out the edges on inventory, stuff like that.
If you're a manager, you're pretty much, always on call then, right?
Dude, how good does his voice
I wouldn't say
sound?
on call, but yeah, I'm here a good bit. Yeah.
Dude, how good does his voice sound on microphone?
Yeah, you guys
yeah.
both sound great.
He's built.
Oh,
for
thank
this.
you, thank
He's
you.
built for this. Dude, your sweatshirt is just cracking me up too.
Oh, thank you.
Because I live on Kirkwood Highway, or like right off Kirkwood
Mhm.
Highway, and that is like all you ever see is like Newports.
I
and
know
shit.
exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Uh-huh.
Yeah. You ever seen the Kirkwood Highway starter pack? Like somebody made a meme.
Uh-huh.
It's fucking like dirty Air Force Ones and Newport cigarettes and a wife beater.
Yep.
Ellesmere fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, bro. And I live in Ellesmere, and literally I did walk around in a wife beater today. I was
Well,
I was working on shit.
very
I was like,
apropos.
oh god, I look like such
Dude,
a
I
fucking douche.
live right over on Union, so I probably.
You live on Union?
Yeah, so I drive through Ellesmere. every
Oh,
day.
dude, yeah, you should come to my haunted house on Halloween.
Love to come to your
Oh,
house.
yes. It's going to be so
See?
much fun. Tommy's going to be there. He's going to be scaring
We'll be
people.
scaring people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's so much fun.
That sounds
Hell
awesome.
yeah. Yeah. Cool. So you guys have been working here since 2019, so right before the pandemic. During the pandemic, what were you guys still open, or did you guys close, or what?
We closed for
Funny
a little
story.
bit,
I
yeah.
think it was did we close? It was either 2 weeks or 6 weeks we were closed.
Okay.
It might have been 6.
I feel like it was longer
I think
than
it was
felt like. for
6.
sure.
That's what I'm kind of getting at. Like it could have been 2, but it kind of felt like 6 also.
Okay.
But yeah, right after that, we didn't open the doors, but we were trying to have some
Yeah,
cash flow come through.
We would take orders through that window right there. Somebody would call it back to the bar over here. We'd make it. The guy took the order, would run back, grab the drink, and serve it out of this window right here, so that everybody could keep like the 6-foot distance.
Wow.
Everybody's
Smart, man.
outside.
That's a really smart move, yeah.
Yeah, and like,
Were you guys slammed, too?
oh, dude.
I figured.
Usually.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. Like the day right before we announced, like, hey, we're closing it down for a little while. We don't know what's gonna happen. We got to put her to sleep for a little bit.
Yeah.
That day before, me and Nick were working it, and it was the busiest day that I've ever worked. There was a line down the sidewalk.
Whoa.
I was like hiding behind the bar, like on the phone, like, yo, can anybody come help me? Like, slammed, like, right now. But the community really showed up for us because, like, I've never, like, tips that day, like, I've never like,
Never made that much money
No,
before.
it's still the
That's so
top
sick.
day.
yeah, like we like the guy Brendan who came in to help us that day, like we gave him lots of money and still had
Good.
lots. It was uncomfortable almost, but like it felt like
The
when that
amount of-
happened, I was like, we're gonna be all right.
We'll be okay.
We're gonna be
Yeah,
fine.
uh-huh.
We got
Good.
we got this.
Like what I remember the most from that was like some older gentleman just came and dropped a check off in an envelope and said it's for the workers. It was,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Good
wasn't
for
like
them.
any
That's-
extravagant amount, but even just $1, like that is so generous from anything.
Yeah,
Anyone. That's
of course.
awesome.
Plus, they don't know you either.
Exactly. Like that was amazing.
They just
Like, I
buy
couldn't
coffee
even,
here.
I couldn't even believe it.
Isn't it wild how on board everybody was in the very beginning?
What,
And
for
then
small businesses? Yes.
And then a year in, everybody turned on
A
each
year?
other. Everybody
A year,
was like,
talk fucking 4
fuck
months,
the
dude.
essential workers,
Fucking
and fuck the
5
mask, and fuck all the, yeah, I don't want to be told what to do. It became like a whole political movement instead of like, it was just a virus that was like killing people.
It's simply, yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, a
dude.
talking point as things do. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Oh god, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I missed a lot of that. I was deployed for a lot of that. I missed so much that I was so happy.
Yeah, you're better. off.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Better,
I really
dude.
was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. It was so much better. So what would you guys say? This is kind of a cheesy question, but what would you guys say? Because like Newark's a pretty cool town. It's like very like hip and young and all this shit. Like, what would you guys say makes you stand out? Because there's 30 coffee shops like around here or like cafes.
I can throw
and
a
stuff.
rock and hit 2.
Yeah, but you guys seem to be doing really well here. And I walked in, I was like, this place is cool. Like I just noticed it. Like what do you guys think that is?
I think it has a lot to do with like just our mission statement in general. Like part of our mission statement is to have like an excellent product, like delicious coffee, but have it be approachable and like, cause like people get scared.
Like no
people are
tough guy
nervous.
attitude.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's
what do
good.
you need? What you need to know what a cortado is? I'll explain it to you, man. It's
Yeah.
really good. You should try it. Like
That's great.
It's
motto.
approachable. It's affordable, and it's sustainable. Like we're in really direct contact with the places that we source our beans from. We make sure that we're not buying like, because like
It's a fair trade thing.
Yeah, in coffee producing countries, like a lot of those countries are war torn countries, and
Of course.
and the perpetrator in a lot of those like civil.
Unrest.
Yeah, like a lot of times the perpetrators are the landowners, so it's like you have to
Yeah.
be really careful where you source your beans from because it's
course.
like you don't want to buy blood beans,
Oh,
It's,
yeah,
it's
dude.
like that with a lot of humanitarian aid things too. Like if like say you're like you see a place where you can donate money to said like fill in the blank country, a lot of those like efforts are taken over. Like if there's a giant shipment of food or something, those will get intercepted by like warlords, and then they will sell them to the people they're supposed to be given to in their countries. It's fucking crazy.
Well, it goes with a lot of things. Like if you just look at the back of a lot of American products, let's say like organic or good for the body or whatever the fuck, the healthier choice of things.
They use
A lot of-
buzzwords.
Well, yeah, and of course it always say like palm oil in there.
Palm oil
It's
is
like,
horrible.
dude. Like
So
labor,
bad. Poor orangutans.
Yeah, like laborers are like dying to get fucking palm oil for Americans that want to shop at Whole Foods, and it's really terrible. So
Crazy.
I love walking in here, and I love knowing like you guys are actually give a shit about where your stuff is sourced from. That's really cool.
Absolutely, and we also try like really hard. Like if you come in here every day, like chances are we're gonna slide you a drink at least once.
Most
we're
definitely.
gonna learn your name.
Oh
Like,
yeah, dude. My wife worked at Brouhaha for a while, and same type of thing.
Yeah,
get your
dude, we have our
regulars.
regulars
Yeah, you got
just
your
like a
regulars.
bartender.
You hook 'em up,
Yeah.
Yep.
And you one hand washes the other.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
One thing we like to really say is that it's not specialty coffee. It's just quality coffee.
Yeah.
Like it's for everyone. There's nothing special about it. It just tastes good.
It's just very good.
Yeah.
I like your
exactly.
guys' like labels up there too. That's so cool. Like,
Yeah, dude. That's a lot of that stuff comes from our artist Tyler. Like all
Okay.
of our stickers, all of our that we have this like specialty roast here. I know this is a podcast, but there's some streaming things. There's,
yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah, please.
We're on camera.
Dude,
It is some
plug
handwritten,
as much as you want.
hand drawn.
That
bags.
looks fantastic,
Tyler,
dude.
It's all Tyler Mullen, man.
Yeah.
And
Very cool, man.
He's
Every
been here
single
from
one
the
is
start.
different. It's awesome.
That's true.
So does he works here just doing the art?
Just doing art
Very
and
cool.
production. He does our
Mhm.
grocery orders. He does
Wow.
our artwork. Anything like this. Like back when we first started, before we got these stickers, he used to hand draw every single bag.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And like on the back of every bag is handwritten, hand stamped.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like that forever, but that's what it is right now.
No?
Yeah.
You think he'll change that?
We're moving in that direction, like
Okay.
to like just kind of like increase. Like it's just gonna be a better product all around. Like these bags, they don't really seal in like
Oh.
Air.
air. Like there's a lot of bags you can get that have like a one-way check valve.
Yeah.
It doesn't suck air in and only degasses, because as coffee ages, it'll degas.
Okay.
And like sealable bags are able to like, there's a one-way check valve. It degasses. It doesn't bring in any extra oxygen. It keeps the beans fresher for longer. It's just going to be a better way
That's wild.
to
Like,
produce the product.
I didn't
Science,
know,
man.
I know. I do. I've literally never had a cup of coffee in my entire life. Like I've never. Yeah, I've never. Like I don't know anything about coffee or beans or anything. I have a buddy that grew up in Cameroon on a farm that would produce coffee beans. He was telling me about it, and like you said, there's like a lot of shit that goes down, you know, in the like with warlords and shit. You
Yeah,
know?
well, and it's such a funny thing, you know what I mean? Like coffee's so interesting to me in the way that it's like we'll have there's like world brewing competitions. I have multiple books on roasting. There's multiple books on extraction theory for both espresso, drip coffee. There's a million ways to manually brew coffee, but then you could also buy it at the gas station.
Yeah,
like-
that is wild.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why I love specifically working here. It's like, our product's great. Like, you're not going to get anything better for the most part around here for
Definitely
the price
not
that
around
we're
here.
Not
for the
around
price
here,
that
yeah.
we're offering it.
Mm-mm.
And like, but we're not precious about it. Like,
Yeah.
it's, you know what I mean? Like, we all drink coffee. Everybody drinks
Yep,
coffee.
it's for
the
everyone.
most, it's for everybody.
Yeah. You guys, would you guys say your work, like your day-to-day work, is very laborious? Like it's pretty difficult work.
As a roaster, I think, right?
As everything, dude. Like,
Yeah, fair.
this is the hardest working cat I've ever encountered. This man
Good.
grinds, dude.
Yeah, literally. Metaphorically.
Quite
Yeah.
quite literally.
Yeah.
Both.
And it's funny. Like I've only been in coffee for like since I've started here. Before
Okay.
that, I was a mechanic. I was
Really?
an automotive mechanic for 10 years.
Oh,
before
it's
starting
true,
here.
man. Where'd you work at?
I worked for a couple different independents. Like I started at 16. It was my very first job.
That's great.
And then I like did that for like a long time. And there's reasons why I don't do it anymore. It was
Yeah.
good money. It served purposes that I needed it at the time. I have
Definitely.
really powerful skill, but like Nick worked at Starbucks for a long time
Yeah.
before working
Oh,
here.
wow.
So like
You too, huh?
Oh, you worked at Starbucks?
No, I mean somebody else. I
There-
think didn't Brendan work?
There's
there
Brendan,
too?
There's
Sean.
a few. It's me, Sean, Brendan, Abby, and then actually someone that's about to be working here also worked there. So,
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, we may poach some Starbucks people here.
Good.
And there, but
That's
So
good
be
though.
it.
That's
Yeah.
good. I don't like Starbucks.
Well, like I remember you were on shift one day. You came over for a drink and you were like, "Yo, I have my resume in my trunk. It's
yeah.
my trunk."
Thankfully, the person that was working that day was Sean, and I used to work with him across the street actually over at Starbucks.
yeah. So you know each other.
And we knew each other. I frequented here. And
I
then-
forgot there's a Starbucks literally across the
Yeah.
street.
I,
Yeah, I
it's my
said I
old
could throw-
workplace.
How the fuck?
I could throw a rock and hit
He
it.
literally
That
hit it
is
with a football.
nuts.
Mm-hmm. But
Keep the top of it pointed toward Nick. Keep the top of it pointed towards your mouth.
I got
It doesn't
you.
have to be super close, but just
Heard.
like
For some
like
reason,
that.
and now I can't hear you. Are you? Did you turn yours off? Oh, okay.
I might just be down
No,
low.
no. You're good now.
My
Okay.
mic.
Yeah. It
Okay,
was.
cool.
Yeah. As you were telling him to fix his mic, yours was not as fixed.
Well, I wasn't worried about saying it into the mic.
Oh, gotcha.
Back office stuff.
anyway.
That is
But,
great. I forgot there is a Starbucks right across the street. That is insane to me.
Yeah.
And you guys are killing it, huh?
And look at
You
us
guys are
now.
busy as shit.
Well, like
Yeah.
we have like we I mean we don't just poach employees. We be poaching customers. Too.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
great.
That's a really cool part about being here. I remember it was probably we call them shadow shifts. It's like when you're just like following the two workers
Yeah.
around, you know, being trained. And my second one here, my 2 weeks were in at the other spot, and one of my customers came in from over there, and he saw that I was here and was like, "Okay, I come here now."
Really?
Yeah, and
Man.
that's like so cool.
That is. That's
Like,
really
yeah.
cool. Especially to just get your coffee. Like, you wouldn't think that they would care about who they're getting it from rather than like
Well-
where they're getting it from.
Well,
But then they
ab-
see you and then they come over here. I mean, that really says something about you.
It's like having your favorite bar or your favorite bartender. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Definitely.
as an also non-coffee drinker,
Yeah.
I can say that, or I can tell just from an outsider's perspective that coffee is like an integral part of many people's day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. I guess
So,
it is their routine in the morning.
Exactly. So people yeah, people literally work it into their routine on their commutes and whatnot. And like, if you have your person and you know they're going to be there, you're going to go just there.
Especially when they're right across the street.
Especially
That is very
Now-
true.
that. And then
No, sorry.
also, like, everyone that tags along with them, like, I've watched kids grow up these past 6 years.
Oh, yeah,
Crazy.
dude.
Like, it's one of the craziest things about my job is that kids are just older.
Dude, that is one, like, unrelated. That is one of the craziest things is, like, nothing shows the passage of time like a kid growing up.
Yeah.
You're like,
Dude.
what the fuck? It's been 5 years.
Yeah, because I cut hair
Yeah.
for like 12 years.
know,
And
yeah.
I would literally watch these kids. Dude, okay, the other day, this guy came into my unit who, he's in the National Guard now, and he was a Marine, and he's a really good fighter. He's on Street Beefs, if you guys have ever watched Street Beefs.
No way.
Yeah, and he's like undefeated on
awesome.
Street Beefs.
That's
He's a
interesting.
rad,
Tough, dude.
he's an awesome dude. And I was cutting his hair when he was like a middle schooler. And now we were sitting across from each other. We're
That's so
both
cool.
soldiers and like eating lunch together. Like
At the same
it's
unit, too.
wild, dude. But I would watch kids grow up. I mean, you know, from like I cut hair like 11, 12 years, so I would watch kids grow up from like age 12 to 24.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
They're
it was,
people.
and I was cutting their hair, and like I was going through everything with them, their breakups, their like you know, their
School.
grades, like their college years. Yeah.
It's funny shit because it's like we have this one customer. He's a legend, Ken Jones, and like we watch his kids like Tati and Carson pretty much grow. Like one of them works here now. Like,
What?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
That's cool,
like, it's
man.
really
That's fun.
really wild. Like
That's really cool.
That actually stems from, or that picture stems from Ken Jones himself.
Oh,
The
yeah, okay, we
picture of
gotta-
the dog over there.
Yeah. What's going on with that picture? You guys had a story
I'll
about it?
edit it in post. You'll understand.
dude, so like Ken Jones is the king of the thrift store.
Okay.
Like my man's got a storage locker full of just cool shit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You cannot deny cool shit.
Yeah.
And, like I respect that, and like he knows that he has too much cool shit, and he's always just like, "Yo, I got a bunch of cool shit. You guys want to come check out all my cool shit?" And like it'll be just like hats, vintage T-shirts, like goofy paintings of a holographic poodle.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Is
Like-
it safe to assume he's a character?
Oh, he's
Oh.
my favorite.
Yeah, he's
I
awesome.
wish that he was here so you could speak with him.
There used to be a lot of cool thrift stores around here. Now there's like Goodwill, and it's like only like halfway open sometimes, I swear.
Oh yeah.
It's like
yeah, that's
shot.
about it.
Because
Yeah.
when I was going to UD when I was young, my band would play at a thrift store called Clothes in the Past Lane or something.
I remember that store.
Dude, we would play there, and they would pay us in cool clothes.
Man, that's
that
nice.
works.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah,
I
dude.
play at least one show a month.
Yeah, all the time. Well, we would draw people in. We would play right out in front of their store, and we draw people in, so they thought like it was so cool, man.
That
was
sounds
such a
rad.
it was an awesome store, and like that's gone. There were a couple of cool clothing stores. Now it's all fucking like vape shops and sunglasses stores.
Yeah, like
That's sad.
Zaza Smoke Shop
And
in
Boba
Washington,
Dude,
shit.
dude, in
and
Ellesmere, let me tell you, there is a fucking smoke shop every 20 feet now.
Yep.
It sucks,
the
dude.
Zaza shop.
It's fucking nuts, man. But I noticed you have a coffee called Save Old Newark. Is it called that? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
That's
there's
cool.
also like they're very sick. Everybody, if anybody's interested in the history of our town, there's a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, Josh is the Newark guy. Listen,
And like,
Oh, okay.
So at Save Old Newark on Instagram, Save Old Newark on Facebook. They're high school kids that are really invested in the history of our
Cool,
town,
man.
And you know, this project we're kicking back money to the organization Save Old Newark to
What?
get plaques for historic buildings all over the town. Like, there's not just this building, but there's a lot of awesome buildings in Newark that's been multiple things. Like we're obviously the coffee shop. Before that,
Yeah.
we were Switch. We were the
Yeah.
skateboard shop. Before that, we were a hair salon.
Really?
The lady who cut my hair as a baby had a chair in here.
What?
Before that, we were the co-op, the original co-op.
Oh, I didn't realize
Upstairs,
that.
when we were the co-op, there was a women's feminist paper. That was in like the 70s.
What?
Yeah. So
Yeah, a lot
like,
of
there's a
history.
lot of cool shit in our town, just like this place, and they're super invested in getting that information out. They just I think the organization just renovated the old train station over off 896. That's the Newark History Museum.
What?
So they're in close ties with the History Museum to make sure that their Instagram is incredible. Like, you could spend 20 minutes just scrolling, just being like, man.
And there's places you're like, I know that intersection or something. That page is awesome. At Save Old Newark.
There's even Haines Street, the street we're on, that's on there, and it's just a field with a house. That's it.
From the 1800s.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Stuff
that's cool.
back that far. Like, there's always like Curtis Paper Mill posts, like that intersection. Like, there's so much amazing stuff. And like,
Yeah, Newark is not just giant rectangular gentrified looking buildings.
Dude, yeah, it is. It looks so
Believe it or
weird
not.
now. Because when I was younger, I used to volunteer at a place called the Amaz House or Amaze House. It was like a halfway house for families that were like had kids, but the parents were like either like addicts or just coming out of jail or whatever, trying to get their life. And I thought it was on this street if you just kept going, but I can't remember. But I don't know if it's there anymore.
Right.
Probably
Is it
not.
still, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if
not
it's still
sure.
there, but like that sounds familiar.
Newark had a lot of cool stuff. I miss it used to be East End Cafe, but then it was
Then it was
Mojo
Mojo
Maine,
Maine.
and I
Maine,
loved. I used to play
Green.
there every couple weeks, dude. Like there and Homegrown, I used to play every other Wednesday for 3 years. Like
Yeah,
it
we
was
played.
awesome.
We've the three of us have played many a show at Homegrown. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
dude. We should play Homegrown a handful. We play.
It's true.
Oh, as the States.
Josh and I were in a band called Statesman together.
Yeah, because I went and saw you guys at 1984 because I used to live like right
That was our
next
other
door.
second home.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Or
played
actually,
there a
really was
lot.
our second home.
Yeah, we played there
Yeah, that was
quite a bit.
my favorite place, and I'm friends with the owner now. And I asked her like, if I give you money, will you open it back up? But there's
You
too
get-
much like personal shit I found out, like why they really
Oh.
closed it. It made me really sad,
You gonna be a seed investor?
dude. I would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
1984, dude, they made their money.
Yeah, it seems like a sound investment. It's
Yeah, it
always
was a
been
lot
there.
of there was a lot of other shit that went down behind the scenes
Yeah.
none of us knew about, and
Always
that was my favorite place. Like I don't even
I could
drink.
guess.
And yeah, yeah.
But
and,
I won't.
Yeah. And like I said, like I don't even drink, neither do you, but
Nope.
we all hung out there because I'm a big arcade person, big video game person, and my wife loves pinball, and they had all old pinball stuff. So we used to go there.
Skee-ball. I got so good at fucking skee-ball.
Dude, I know. Yo, one time, this is back when I was single. I was like trying to meet girls. I played
Ew.
ski. I asked this girl. I'm horrible at like talking to women, and I was like, hey, do you want to play some skee ball? The girl was like, sure. She was really pretty. You know, we won, and I was like, oh man, I beat you. She goes, God, you're. Oh fuck, what'd she say? She was like, God, you're so fucking Jewish.
Oh my god!
And I was like, and I like did like the Kool-Aid guy back up, and I was like, okay, I don't have any interest
You mean
in
the
dating
Homer
you
Simpson,
anymore.
like
Yeah,
Into the Bushes?
yeah,
This is a
exactly.
very telling game of
Yeah.
skee-ball.
Or maybe she said she might have said like this machine's like such a fucking Jew or something. She said like something super fucking.
Didn't
racist.
realize the
Oy
stakes were
vey.
this high.
Yeah, oy vey, yeah. Yeah, that was weird as shit. That was like the only interaction I had like that there. I mean, no, there were never any like fights there or anything because they only
Nope.
served beer. They didn't serve like hard liquor. But
God, I used to have so many pint glasses. Dude, my friend Sam used to just film like we'd be outside smoking
yeah,
sorry mom, we'd be outside smoking cigarettes and pint glasses would just end up in the cab of my truck. Dude, I'd come home and like 3 pint glasses in there. Dude, I don't
That's
even I have
awesome.
so many. I don't want any more.
shit, man. God, man, I miss that place. So is this like a hangout too? Like, do people sit here, or they mostly just come in, buy something, and then leave? Like, buy.
The idea is the latter, but
Yeah.
I mean, the sense, like, the reason this place is cool is the former. Like,
Sure,
you
yeah.
know, so like, there is there's definitely friends groups that are here every day that I recognize, like the same,
Yeah, like
same
college
three or-
kids.
yeah, and like, it's funny to see like, as college kids roll through,
Of course.
like, the groups evolve. They don't come. Some people come. New people come. It's like just a ever growing ecosystem.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's good for business, though. I mean, you want new people as well as like the same people coming back every day.
It's kind of
Totally.
hippy dippy-ish, but I think there's definitely like there's got to be something to like there being energy in spaces because
yeah. No,
even
there's-
when Switch was around, like obviously people hang out in skate shops when they're not buying shit for hours and hours
Always,
sometimes.
dude, yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, I did too.
Like
And
I was
I-
saying earlier, how many times did I watch Step Brothers in
Right.
that corner?
That corner right over there.
Yeah.
And like before Goat was here, it was Switch, and then when Little Goat opened, like that energy has to have like stayed or something, because the vibe in here is just great.
Dude, as soon as I walked in, I felt comfortable.
Right?
Yeah. I can't
Like-
say that about every place.
Yeah, like,
that's
look-
what
look
drew me
around.
to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's
What is that little door go to? I've just been wondering that.
it's a
It's a
secret
closet,
door,
right?
and that
You-
goes upstairs.
Why?
Oh wait,
Goes
that's
upstairs.
right. That
Where
used to
are
be
the
That
stairs?
used to go
Is
to the
that- is it a
apartment up
spiral
there.
staircase?
Nah, it just goes straight up.
Straight
What's
up.
his What's his
man,
name?
that's
The
cool.
guy who used to own Switch lived up there, and that was
Somebody lived up there.
Somebody did.
There's a revolving door. Of
I
people
know
who lived up there.
I know a guy that used to live up there. Yeah.
Was he bald with glasses?
No, he was
Okay,
not.
different
I'll tell
guy.
you after the show.
Anyway.
Was he a
You'll
tow
know.
truck was he a tow truck driver?
He was not. No.
Anyway,
He's
I
a nice
remember that
guy.
staircase.
His brother,
I know
his
who you're
brothers
talking
look. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
I know
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
But I forgot that there was I saw that there was an upstairs when we got here. And I was like, I totally forgot you could live upstairs. at this
Technically,
place.
you can.
Yeah, I love the
I don't know how technically.
Maybe all right, maybe not physically, or maybe not technically, but physically you could.
Physically,
Yeah.
you can live anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
yeah. I guess you could live anywhere.
No. Speaking of like shit that's around here, there's a piece of a broken skateboard deck above this rack of T-shirts that you said there's a funny story about. What's up with that?
Oh,
thing?
dude. Okay, so there's this woman. She's an artist locally. I wish I knew her name. I do not. But so it's like, to describe it a little bit, it's just like it's built as it's like a farmscape with a bunch of goats grazing, and in the background you can see our building.
Oh, it is in the background, isn't it?
Mhm.
I'm gonna edit a picture of it in post. so-
Right on. Well, we did not exist as a company, Little Goat. We were just we were just a sparkling Olivia and Joe's eye at the time.
Yeah, it was an empty building at that point.
Yeah, but this
true.
woman, man, she had a dream about this fucking building.
What?
Yeah, dude, she had a dream.
The artist
about-
lady?
Yeah, the
Okay.
artist lady had a dream about that landscape, dude. The switch in the background, the farm, the
Was that like
goats
a cornfield?
grazing.
Or some kind of field.
Some sort of farming, yeah. Some
Okay.
sort of farm. You can see rows of crops of some sort. They're not tall crops, but I mean, it's like one of those
Yeah.
things. It's like this woman had this elaborate dream, and she woke up and painted it, and all these years later,
Well, it was actually.
And she just painted it on a
was-
skateboard?
I'm pretty sure it was just a month later.
It was
that
a month
Little Goat
later?
Opened that she finished the painting. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was just a month later, and Little Goat was being constructed or opened the door.
yeah, this is a hand-me-down story, so it's very anecdotal at this point, but
Very
it's still
Yeah.
very cool to me
That's super cool.
that
That's cool.
painting comes from a dream before, you know,
Before it even existed.
Before it even
in physical
existed.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it was a vision.
Maybe you're right.
Mhm.
Like, it is hippy dippy, and it sounds even foolish to say, but there's got to be an energy to this place, man. I mean, I've spent a lot of nights in this place after hours. Like,
Yeah, like we're
This-
doing right now.
this John's haunted. Bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So is it haunted?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
What happens here? I mean, there's a flickering light right now. I don't know if that's just the the wiring
The
or
electrical.
what. Yeah.
There's like just always. Like, there's always noises. There's always stuff moving around. We used to have like a hoodie hanging for display.
Oh yeah.
And there was one morning where somebody was opening, and they just started.
Oh wow.
Swinging, dude. Like,
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Like more. It wasn't Nat. Like, he thought
Yeah.
somebody was messing with him, but I think it was Brendan.
Yeah, I mean, my story that made me actually believe that
Yeah.
it was haunted.
Yeah.
I was opening alone. It was 5:30 in the morning.
It's always when you're fucking by yourself.
Yep.
Opening or doing some shit like that.
Yeah, literally. But I was by myself,
Mhm.
and then I heard the back door just open and close. And I'm out here on the bar setting up, and I just say, "Hey, what's up?" Because I didn't know who was there.
Yeah.
No response. I walk
What?
back. Door is locked. No one's there. I still don't know.
Spooky.
Yeah.
And that's not like an easy door that opens. It's not like a screen door. It's like it clicks and
It's got
has
a
a
bolt.
handle. Yeah.
That's
That is nuts, dude.
I used to, when I would roast, like, I come in like at close, because a lot of it gets just really hot in here. So like,
Yeah.
sometimes during the summer I would I used to come in at like close and roast to like sometimes like 2 a.m.
Damn.
And it would sound like there were people living upstairs, like walking
Wow.
around.
You know for a fact
stomping
there's
around.
nobody up there.
Doors
Mhm.
open and closed. That's back when it was storage strictly up there. That's back before we even owned the building.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, you do own the building now.
We do own the
Fuck
building now.
yes.
That's cool.
I was thinking about that.
That's
earlier.
fantastic.
Yes.
Mhm.
So this is ours. You don't have to worry
Damn
about
right.
anybody selling it away.
It's not going to become fucking Lang.
Did anybody die here that you know of?
I'm sure
At some point,
Yeah.
probably.
somebody had to.
People die everywhere, I guess.
It's been
but-
up for like 60 years now. What was it, 60s?
It was a Sears
Gotta be.
house.
Yeah, it was a Sears house. Sears catalog.
Oh, cool.
You could order
How about
home
those?
Like for
Amazon.
storage?
You could order. No, you
No,
could
no.
order like.
You would
built
order a
houses
legitimate house, and they would ship it to you on a freight train.
Out of the Sears catalog.
Like a manufactured home.
That's what
Yeah.
this is. This is
Yeah,
out of the Sears
exactly.
catalog.
Manufactured
Cool.
home.
Oh, I wonder
Could
why
literally
it has
buy-
that
yeah.
fake wood on the... Because that's an old home. I had that in my old home.
I think that's an aesthetic.
think
thing.
that's
we put
reclaimed
that in
wood.
there.
Yeah, that's reclaimed from.
Oh,
an
it's
old
not foam?
barn. No, that's
Oh,
from
because
a barn.
I had one that was like foam and it was made to look like that in a house I had from the 50s that I used to live in.
Nah,
Okay.
that's
A fun
the real
fact.
deal, baby.
You'll enjoy this
Wow.
about as a veteran. Or somebody who works in the military.
Yeah.
It's the granite for our countertop
Yeah.
is from the same quarry that the Veterans Memorial in Washington D.C.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's
That's it,
cool.
it was-
I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Joe
Yeah.
told me that one day because it was supposed to be a structural piece of granite, but it had imperfections. So he was able to get it at a decent price.
Yeah.
That's
for
awesome,
our
man.
countertop, but it's from the same quarry as the Veterans Memorial.
Very cool,
Very
dude. Wow.
So there's just little shit like that. It's just all over this building, man. I'm telling you, like.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed were the old theater seats because I'm like a huge fan of just old movie theaters or old any theaters in general. And they're like, I love the ornate designs on the top of them.
Yeah,
And that's just
I
so
think that's
beautiful.
from like I was telling you. I think that's from the '80s when they redid
The Grand Opera House,
Yeah,
right? You were
renovated
saying?
the Grand Opera House.
That's so cool, dude. Delaware has a lot of cool stuff. It sucks that a lot of people I feel like don't appreciate it because we're such a small state. We could easily come together and
Yeah.
have a lot of more cool
Delaware
stuff.
has
but-
become a bit of a punchline.
Yeah, I know.
sometimes, but
Yeah.
we're sick though. We're sick
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
2 hours from New York, 45 from Philly,
Yeah.
an hour from Baltimore.
Like I feel like when we were younger, there were a lot of like house shows and punk shows and all that stuff. But I don't. Does that exist anymore around here?
A little bit. There's some house shows that happen in Newark.
Really?
Not at the extent that they used to.
Of course.
Did you ever used to go? How old are you?
I'm 30.
So you're 2 years younger than me, and you're young.
I'm 24.
Yeah, because there used to be a spot on Lincoln. Do you remember that?
Was that Girls Inc?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what
I
they
thought
called
Girls
it.
Inc. was on Main Street.
No, I don't remember. I because my brother would know, and Joe told me knows, but like I was just too young. But
Do you remember? You know like Elkton Road, right?
Yeah.
And then there's Lincoln Drive, I think it's called,
Okay.
and then it leads to Madison Avenue.
Yeah, there used to be mad shows on
Yeah,
Madison.
and Madison. That's what. Yeah, and my band. I was in a punk band that used to play there all the time, and like I feel like that. And there used to be. They had Skid Row here.
Yeah.
a long time ago.
It's a street over.
yeah, and like does
Now
that-
they're all just really nice on the outside. Nice.
Well, that
Oh,
kid
man.
Apartments.
died.
who
Yeah,
died?
yeah.
There's so many
Oh, speaking
died.
of dying,
Yeah.
somebody, yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
died
like,
on
didn't
Skid
somebody
Row.
like got like not pushed out of a window or something
Yeah,
crazy?
there's-
Allegedly.
there's
I was about to say that
party.
sounds like an old like urban legend.
No,
like,
that actually
It's recent.
Somebody
Actually
oh, it was
actually
recent.
died.
Oh,
Yeah.
like okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's like before they a couple of like over the past like probably 8 years they renovated all those Skid Row homes, but like
yeah.
the biggest reason for that is because somebody died.
Yeah. Someone
Yeah,
during
give
a
it a
party
little-
just either was pushed or fell out the window.
Allegedly.
Fuck, dude.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Anecdotal at best.
That's sad.
No,
Man.
now it's like it's advertised at before when we were younger, it was just like known as Skid Row, but now it's full on like advertised. as,
the
like,
new Skid Row.
the new Skid
Well, that's
Row.
shitty.
Yeah.
That's like
Well-
the stone balloon, like what they turned it into. It's like a wine tasting place
Don't-
now.
Yeah,
Don't
they
get me
turned
started
out.
on
Yeah,
Stone
yeah.
I know.
I can't. I'm not allowed to have an opinion on that. So.
Oh.
That was
I
my,
shouldn't.
that was my dad's like
Oh yeah.
stomping grounds when he was my age.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Brendan's dad like there's the infamous Metallica video on
Yeah.
YouTube from the Stone Balloon, which is literally in like our parking lot. Is
Could throw a
attached-
rock
It's, like,
the other way.
connected.
It's
Yeah.
probably, back behind us. He was too young to go, so he sat on the steps of the post office.
Wow.
He sat out across the street and he listened to
hear
the
it.
entire Metallica set. But
So cool, man.
yeah, it's
Well, I
it's-
mean, we used to throw crazy shows at home growing up, where people would like be outside and then we'd go back inside or like do wild shit, man. Like everything's so boring now. Are kids even like into that anymore?
I don't know. It's just so sterile.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's very. That's the word I've been looking for, bro. Everything is so sterile
Well,
right
like
now.
developers come in,
Yeah.
and like there's rules and regulations because nobody wants to get sued. So
Yeah.
nobody wants to take chances or do
I
anything that
know.
isn't super calculated, or there's like terms of service or whatever the fuck, and like it's just not like it'll never be what it was. And that's
I know.
that's,
Well, I
that's
also feel
okay,
like-
but it does suck.
I also just feel like too, like there were venues probably more recently that don't do things anymore. That like if they don't pay attention to those terms of service, they're also more feel like comfortable letting people who maybe are less than professional book these shows, and then shit happens. Like,
Yeah, it's true. Someone gets a hole in the drywall or something.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Some bullshit. Some
On
bullshit.
Madison Ave, bro.
Bull-
I watched a dude's head go through a fucking wall.
Dude,
so
shit
then
happens.
nobody
Shit
wants to deal with
happens.
that either. So.
Yeah.
I learned how to patch a hole in drywall because of shows.
Yeah.
So there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's not
That's-
hard.
That sucks. I
It'll-
mean,
It'll never be what it was, but it's fun to look back, though.
And it's exciting to see how things evolve. If you want
That
to be
too.
optimistic about it.
I'm curious to see where it'll go. Yeah, for sure.
so do you guys both get here at 5:30 in the morning?
Not anymore.
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
So
Well,
when we open at 7, so we get here at 6:30. We used to open at 6, so we'd get here at 5:30. But
Right.
with the pandemic, we adjusted our hours, and this seems to
It kind of
fit.
stuck.
Yeah, because like the first hour, like when we open at 6, the first hour is always kind of weird. We have like a first rush of regulars, and then like a 45-minute like
A lull.
yeah, just sitting there.
Yep.
wait until 7, and then there would be another rush. So it's just like, why don't we just like
Yeah.
scoot that in?
Yeah.
And it's worked
Give
well
that
for
give
us.
that cord some slack, young man. On the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Have you guys
There you
ever been?
go.
Have you guys been on a podcast before?
No.
Nah.
Oh,
it's
cool.
first
It's the
time.
first one.
First timers.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Are you guys having fun so far?
I'm
Yeah,
having a blast.
Cool, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. What like? So you worked your way up to manager pretty quick then, or did you just come in as man? Like, were you managing over at Starbucks?
I was kind of. It was really weird. Like our manager was terrible over there, and I
Yeah,
was one of
it's
the
Starbucks.
shift. I was a shift manager,
Yeah.
but I was like very much
Right.
running the show by the
As
end
it
of
always
it.
ends up. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're given a title one above what you were, and then suddenly you're in charge of shit.
literally.
Yeah.
But here it was like
That's
the timing
service,
was
man.
so weird. It was like started in middle of July, worked till December, early January as a barista.
Okay.
Then the COVID lockdown happened.
Damn.
And, we slung some beans out the back door on our online website, and then we opened up the window. Shortly thereafter, I, started becoming the manager.
Oh,
But,
okay.
it was, a gradual process. So,
So pretty much it took about 2 years. I mean, I'm
Probably.
sorry. You've been managing for about 2 years.
yeah, probably right around that.
Okay.
Maybe,
dude.
maybe a little less.
Much like we were talking about last week with Jay and Fresh.
Yeah.
I think he's obviously a guy who can get shit done.
Yeah.
So you give him the ball, he's gonna run with it.
Yeah.
That's why you're manager, dude.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So do you
I
guys?
like to think so.
do you guys
It's
get
obvious.
to? Do you guys get to eventually buy into the company and be a part
good
owner
question.
or anything like that?
You get
I-
options. What are we talking here?
I don't really know.
we going public?
It's
What's
still
up?
kind of a new company. I mean, but I'm
like-
just wondering.
I mean,
There's-
as of right now, no.
Yeah,
but-
not really.
Would you want to be an owner?
There's been and this is it's been mentioned once during one's very specific meeting about maybe someday being a cooperative, but I wouldn't stand in front of a judge and say that. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Because
I know what you mean.
It's not mine, and I don't
Yeah.
want to speak for them and how what they want from the business. But who knows? Who knows?
You're open to it.
I mean, I'm open to it.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
all that matters.
Like, could
know,
you
You're
see
here.
yourself here
Buddy?
in, let's say, 10 years?
I have a tattoo.
Yeah, we all
little
have
goat?
tattoos.
Whoa,
I'm
dude.
not planning on going anywhere.
Dude, that
Yeah.
is the sign of a good business, man.
And, like, even
They
if-
take care
even
of your
if
They're
Or
not
is
employees.
it
the
a-
only ones either.
Yeah, it's
Really?
mostly all the staff that have them.
That's awesome, dude.
And it's like,
All the real ones for sure.
like, and I say that again is like, I don't want to, like, of course, speak for, neither one of us are owners, so I don't want to speak for those people.
yeah. That just, yeah.
Even if that isn't a thing, like, I'm not going anywhere. Like,
And you can make a
Right.
decent living. Just, yeah.
and like,
That's
I have
great.
to say that is, like, I have nobody to thank other than our owners, Joe and Olivia, for that, for making these jobs,
Yeah.
like, livable,
Yeah.
sustainable jobs for us to, like someday think about buying a house, having a
Yeah.
401k,
That's great,
you know,
man.
things like,
Being able to
Yep.
stop working someday, maybe.
yeah, retirement down the line. Cool shit. Like,
Yeah, that's
And,
super.
like-
That's very important.
Yeah, they definitely care about our pocket. Absolutely.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. That's so good to
Mhm.
hear. Man, I love this place. I wish I drank coffee.
Dude, I said,
I gotta
I
take
don't-
my wife here. She likes coffee.
Well, I take Mel here all the time, and I don't
Okay.
drink coffee either. I smash ice waters over there.
Man.
Shawnee always hooks it up.
and
Okay.
it's one of those things too, because it's like the idea of like a business operating as a family is kind of like a very like,
It's kind of a foregone conclusion anymore.
well, it can
Sadly.
be like held as a like toxic ideal.
Yeah, it's
because,
like a bad omen sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like we're like, we're all homies. Like, we're legitimately all really good friends here.
You guys literally hang out outside of work.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like we try to think of it as like a team more than a family.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know, like,
Like, you're not going to Thanksgiving at each other's houses.
no, but
But you're definitely playing the same game.
exactly, and
Exactly.
like we don't really have a lot of like interpersonal problems. Like,
Right.
there's some, but it behooves oneself to clear that shit up pretty quick. And like, I
Yeah.
can speak from personal experience where it's like it's easier to just let things go because we all rely on each other so heavily.
Yeah, it's
And
minimal,
it's
I'm
like
sure.
it's just like our relationships are very close. We're all very
Have you had a coworker come in that like didn't meld or assimilate and they caused a lot of problems?
not so much as
No.
that as like I don't know, like
People
when you get to
mostly
know
fit-
mostly like when you get to know a friend for a long time and you just get into like
Yeah.
dumb little friend spits.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah, yeah.
happens.
Like, and you just guys
It's
like,
a relationship.
exactly. And it's like it's for the betterment of everybody. If it's like you just leave that shit at the door.
Well, you got
It's,
to,
it's hard because it's like we're all
It is
people,
tough,
but it's
yeah.
like
with little things like that, you got to ask yourselves and each other, is this going to matter in 5 years?
no, and
No.
it's like
It won't.
we're like as soon as anything like
Or 5
I can't even
days?
say this is like something that happens often, but it's like
It
when
just is, yeah.
issues in the workplace arise, and when they do, like that shit gets squashed pretty damn quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Good.
without any intervention from anybody other than just like we just work that shit out.
Yeah, usually it's just a conversation.
We just
Yeah.
work like because we rely on each other so heavily,
Yeah.
and in a way that's not like toxic or anything.
Mhm.
Are you guys short staffed at the moment?
Not really.
No, you have pretty much everybody you need.
Yeah, we
Solid,
we
right?
just had someone come along on the staff. They actually work at Peaches down the street.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shout
What's it
out to
called?
Peaches. Peaches Eatery.
Oh yeah, shout
Mhm.
out Peaches Eatery. Peach Blossom Eatery is it's a restaurant that's owned by one of our owners, Olivia, and
Wow.
it's a
Fucking
brunch
slaps.
spot. They serve our coffee. They got amazing cocktails, and
amazing food.
amazing breakfast and lunch menus.
Oh hell yeah! I gotta go.
I can attest. I've eaten there many times.
Oh, I definitely gotta go eat there.
I'll be back.
76 East Main.
Cool, cool.
Slaps.
Mhm.
It's next to the Indian Sizzler.
Yes.
So, is that by Days of Nights?
No.
It-
It's the other way. Right,
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 right.
right.
by
I forgot about
It's
Indian
that way.
Sizzler. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Good. So it's right by Rainbow Records then.
No, Rainbow
Not quite
actually
that far.
moved.
No.
Yeah.
No, I know Rainbow moved behind because they're behind Switch now.
Yeah.
No.
They
they're
were
by Ski
behind
Bum now.
Switch
They're by Ski Bum
Yeah,
now.
they're right next to Ski Bum up
They
there.
moved
in the shopping
again.
center.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I've been in there. That's
I
right.
have-
They are over there.
Wait, when did that happen?
Year?
Pro-
Okay.
Yeah, it happened
probably
before
a few
pandemic.
probably a few years now.
I could have sworn I was there last year, and it was still behind Switch.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know. That's wild though.
No, thank God it's still around too.
I used to work at Subway when I was like 16. When it's not there anymore, but right next to the ramen place.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. And I used to save up all the tip money after like a month and go buy a record over there. I still have like this live Germs record that I got from there. I've never seen that record since then.
That's
But
sick.
yeah, I don't
They
know
have
if you
some
guys
pretty
are.
special stuff in there every now
They
and then.
they really do, man. They had a lot of cool old punk stuff when I would go there.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there. It's like very intentional. It's like, yeah.
Oh my
this
god,
guy-
I would spend hours in there looking through just the CDs. That's where I got into Man or Astro Man.
I
was
get
from that
CDs all the
place, yeah.
time, and I just got a grip of CDs from there last time I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I would get that there. The legendary Shack Shakers. Like when I was in college, somebody told me that there was a Cramps record. They didn't even know the band. They called them the Camps. They were like, I think that's a band you like. And I was like, do you mean the Cramps? And he was like, yeah. Dude, I don't know if you know where the towers are at.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
East
of
Tower.
course.
I used to live in East Tower.
Dude,
They're gone.
my-
They're about to be gone.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, okay.
My worst job I've ever had was doing delivery in this town. I know those towns.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah. Well, I lived there for like when I was a sophomore, and my buddy told me like, oh, there's a Cramps record for sale. I ran to Rainbow Records before it was behind Switch. I remember I showed up all sweaty with like the only money I had left, and I was like, I don't care if I fucking don't eat for a week. It was an original pressing of their first EP. So I have that at home.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
So those are
cool.
like one of my favorite bands. So.
Like, can I give you all my money just to
Dude,
hold
yeah.
it? Just hold it. I'll bring more.
I think it was like I don't even know. Like I think it was like $90 or something. And that was like all the money I had, and I was like broke. And I like
Worth it, though.
Yeah, it was worth it. I still have that. I have that record.
I've spent like $300 on an original pressing. I
Oh
have to
yeah.
say.
Oh wait. What's the best record you think you have like in your collection?
Oh man, and like I say this as somebody who like knows that I'm the only one who thinks this is my
Sure,
best
yeah.
record.
That makes it all the more special, though.
It's an original. Like at the time, it was the only pressing. They've since done a repress, but it was a band from Canada, Boys Night Out. Their record.
I remember that
Boys
band.
Night
The
Out.
record
yeah.
Trainwreck.
Whoa.
I got it. It
That's
was
sick.
a
What?
180 gram double LP. It was at the time the only pressing. They've since
Dude.
done
That's cool.
repressing, but
That's a fucking find.
like it was the only one on Discogs. So it's like,
Wow.
like every now and then they pop up, but it was it's like I stand by that.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a little bit extra money. Like I don't remember how, but fuck it.
Dude,
Hey, man.
at the antique store by Blue Hen Comics, I would go in there. They would have a bunch of 7-inches or just like 45s, and I searched through them, and I saw like there was like a stack of 45s in a 45 holder, like an old one that was like made of Bakelite, if you guys know what that is. It's like
Yeah.
pre-plastic. So I open it up, I'm looking. There's like some random one, and I flip it up, and there's a original Chess Records Chuck Berry 45. So I said, I didn't tell them. I just said,
You played
how
it
much?
cool.
How much do you want for? How much are these records? And they were like, oh, it's $7. I was like, oh, 7 each. They're like, nah, $7 for the whole carrier.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, okay. And
Say
dude,
less.
I have that record at home. It has in that stack. It had Chuck Berry. It had Bill Black and his orchestra. So he was the bass player for Elvis
Yep.
at the time. Yeah. So it was him. And then I think it had a Dwayne Eddy record in there as well. And just like a bunch of other random shit. And I'm a big Dwayne Eddy fan. So
Well worth the $7.
dude,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
insane, dude. Especially at that time, I was mostly listening to like Chess Record shit or like Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, all that back
Very
then.
cool. Delta
That was-
Blues.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, that's what I grew up on. But yeah, man, I love it around here, dude. It's so cool. Isn't there a skate park around here now too?
There's
like a
two.
nice one. There's two.
Yeah, there's Phillips Park, and then there's one on Barksdale.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Oh, there's a full-on skate park on Barksdale now.
Yeah.
Is that park that people are always posting clips at? The little one.
Yeah, it's teeny, but it's fun. There's like two little.
Man, that's
there's like
cool.
2 quarter pipes. There's like a
Mhm.
like a.
There's a box thing in the middle.
Yeah, and
It's
like
at an angle.
transition, John.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You guys skate?
A little bit.
Yeah. Awesome.
I like didn't
Kind
have
of on
insurance
board.
for a little
Not
while,
really.
Nice.
so I like stopped. But now I have health insurance. So
Dude, yeah.
I feel-
Yeah,
feel a
I
lot
just
better
got
about
back into it last year. Like pretty much when we started the podcast, or right before. Yeah, it fucking my knees were hurting for like 2 months, and then like it started to level out.
Yeah, every
But-
now and then, me and the owner Joe will go up to FDR and skate around.
Oh man,
That's rad.
dude! My band played at FDR one time.
Me too.
I love it up there.
I used to go there when I was a kid a lot too. It's so cool.
It's funny. Like I recently, it's YouTube is an amazing tool because
It
it's
is.
like turning into a time
Yeah.
capsule.
Yeah, I know.
And
Find us on YouTube.
Speak,
Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of like old skate shop stuff, do you guys remember like 411 Video Magazine?
Sure do.
No, I don't remember that.
I
had
said
tons
they
of
were,
'em.
They were like 6 skate VHSs. They're all on YouTube. Like they're
That's
all
cool.
ripped. There's like playlists, and I was watching like Bam Margera. Obviously
Dude,
had
the amount of music I
That's it.
found from those.
Really?
It's a lot. It's like that and the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video games are why I listen to what I listen to.
I want to say like 60% of that Bam Margera 411 Video Magazine issue was like all FDR, and it was
That's
like
cool.
It was like 2003 FDR.
That's when I was going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to fuck up FDR. People still don't skate it the way he used to skate it.
Well, he would say
Anyway.
it, man. He was like, you get like a 52, 53 millimeter wheels.
Yep.
You don't even have to pump, dude. You
It's
just
true.
You just ride that park, just carve the hell out
Yeah.
of it,
No,
like butter.
I remember like being scared going there.
Oh, it's
because I
definitely intimidating.
sucked.
It's
yeah, and I
intimidating
didn't want
as
people
shit.
because I would see like, or you'd always hear about like, oh, they'll push you over. Or, like one kid when my band was playing there, this kid showed up on rollerblades
Yeah,
and people
maybe
just
if you ride a scooter
fucking
or something.
threw a
God.
stick in front of him, he just collapsed.
Like
They
Big
called an
Daddy.
ambulance, dude. It was so funny. Everybody kept skating up to him and goes, "Did you break your pussy?"
Oh my god.
I know. They're like, "Hey, like, hold on, Morrissey. We call an ambulance." It was pretty funny, man.
Morrissey.
Yeah,
Dude, we'll go on like Monday mornings at like 10:30 in the morning.
that's perfect. Dude.
That's cool.
I go to the Wilmington skate park that they just opened not even
7th
2
Street?
years ago. No, not 7th Street.
Oh, the
there's
other one.
There's
The
one
sm- yeah,
off
the small
Maryland
one.
Avenue. And no, it's huge. It's got a bowl and everything. I'll go there
No
at like
way.
7 in the morning. And it's great.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Yeah, you totally should. It's hidden behind like a big abandoned building. It's really hard to explain where it's at.
All right.
But you can find it.
All
It's
right.
way cool in there, dude. It's all cement. And it's
Sick.
all really smooth, so just be careful. Like I fuck up like crazy there because I'm not used to it. Because I'm more used to skating on like regular roads.
It's a lot like the one at Barksdale, but a
Yeah,
little bigger.
Barksdale's
Oh,
super
okay.
smooth like that.
Very
yeah,
cool.
And same with Phillips. They're both really smooth, like
Awesome.
concrete parks.
Dude, I wear all my pads when I go. I when I dropped in that bowl the first time, I fucking ate it. And thank God I had my pads on. I would have broken my head open.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I used to skate Newport, obviously. And
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
that's a whole wood park. It has a little bit of give to
That
it.
one's
You can
easy.
bounce
I
a little
loved
bit, you
that
know?
park, but I can't. I tried going there. There's too many kids, like little
Children.
kids on
It's
scooters,
hard.
and I was
Children
like,
is
dude,
what
I
you're
don't want to.
thinking,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to be there for that.
Yeah.
But this one, it can be pretty empty at
wa-
the Wilmington skate park.
It was fine
Yeah.
when I was growing up, like before I could drive, like that
yeah,
age.
same. Yeah, like 02, 03. Because I started going there in like 03, I guess. Like you did midnight skate. Remember
Dude,
that?
let me
Yeah.
tell you how many midnight skates I went to.
Oh god,
Fuck.
so many. Yeah.
I went to so many of those. In fact, there was a really old picture of me wearing a Fallen Chris Cole hoodie that looked just like this very shirt.
Really?
I
with
remember
my-
that hoodie, dude.
With my green hoodie, my blue jeans, my orange helmet, and just I looked like a fucking cartoon.
They sold that in
back then.
CCS, dude. I
Sure
remember
did.
that hoodie.
I
They
They had it
remember.
in purple,
I don't
too.
purple and
think
red.
I owned a helmet at that time, and I think you had to rent pads there or something, right? Like you had to
could.
at least wear a helmet when you go there.
I think you
Because
could.
they're run by a church.
Yeah, the church
Gene.
across the way.
So one of my sergeants actually at my unit, I asked him about he has a bunch of tattoos and he has these dice tattooed on him and they show 141. And I go,
Oh,
what is
shit,
that
that's cool.
tattoo? And he's like, actually, me and my buddies started the skate park under 141, and there were like 13 of us that got this tattoo
That's
before it turned into a real skate park, before that church took it over.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we just built ramps and just left them there and just kept doing it. I thought that was really cool.
That's insane. I
yeah,
didn't
that's
actually know
awesome.
that.
There's actually, dude, it's funny in the Army, especially. I don't know about too many of the other branches, but like the Army, I've met like old punk rockers and shit that just like kind of like me, they're just like fucking up, and they're just like, all right, I guess I'll join the army now.
My buddy Adrian did Air Force, and he has
Yeah.
a lot of stories the same way. You actually remind me a lot of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool, man.
yeah.
It's nice when you meet, because like I'm not like I was always against the war and all that shit, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna like fucking be so against it, like why don't I join to try and make things like not so shitty, like because there's a lot of tough guy small dick attitudes in the military.
can only
mean
imagine.
it's like any of that bullshit, but like when then you meet, like I met this like horror punk kid, and we became like really good buddies, and I was like, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of cool, and I like that like Newport skate park was like created by a dude that's now like a fucking staff sergeant in the army.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
kind of
a
silly.
little bit of a breath of fresh air.
It is. It's like not all of us are total dickheads. I would say like 98% though are like probably like real dickheads. But there's some really cool guys and girls in the military. But that's cool that you guys still skate and shit too. And you said you longboard?
Yeah, occasionally.
Because like around
Recently,
here, I know
not
there's a
too
lot of
much.
kids longboarding. I used to fucking, when I was living in the towers, I watched this fucking, like this is when Jersey Shore was big too. So I watched this like Guido Chad fucking bro eat it, dude. He flew like 10 feet. I had to run away because I was laughing so hard. It was so fucking funny, man. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I haven't really skated since that happened to me on East Delaware, right over there.
Okay.
I was riding an electric one, and
Oh, that's cool.
It had
Scary.
a speedometer on it, and everything. It was a terrible idea, but I was rolling about 28, 30 coming up
Damn.
to this intersection right here.
You're cooking.
Yeah,
Dude.
And I was just on my chest out of nowhere.
Oh, man.
Damn.
I don't know if it was a rock. What
Must have been a
happened.
damn ass
Whoa.
rock.
Yeah.
Did you get knocked out?
DMS rock?
No.
Oh, you just were like,
Yeah, I slid on my chest like 5 or so feet,
Yeah.
stood up. I actually saw one of my old customers from our old job. Was like, I'm good. Adrenaline's going. I gotta go to work in like
you
10
work a
minutes.
shift.
Yeah, I had to go. I had to close here. I was on my way here.
wow.
As fate would have it. Now, more importantly, did any girls see you fall?
I was just, dude. It's funny. I was just
Everyone
about to
saw
bring
me
up
fall.
girls.
Shit.
Because I was just talking to Tommy. You guys don't have to weigh in on this if you don't want to, because I know you guys have to work here every day. But like, I couldn't work on Main Street. Like, I would be way too distracted from the women. But I'm a fucking weirdo. But like, we have a couple of barbershops with my old company I used to work for, and like, sometimes we'd switch up like where we like what shop we would be at and stuff. Like, I don't think I could work. I'm eating at Bon Me Boy, and I'm like too
Yeah, you're
distracted.
like- you're like looking out.
I'm a people watcher. I'll look at men, women, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
I'm just-
it's way too. Especially like when springtime comes around, because I used to go here and it was like,
I always just find it really interesting as like to watch like fashion evolve.
yes,
Yeah.
And
very
it's like,
much.
I found myself like after living in because I just recently moved back to like Wilmington up there. Like I lived in Newark for years and years. Like
Oh, okay.
and like driving around with like my friend Kate and like seeing a group of people and being like, those three like are in fashion right now. That girl's like not really getting it right now. And, like,
That's fucking
those
hilarious,
dudes back
dude.
there, they're not like they're not getting it. Like, like
Well, I was pointing out to, so I love like sneakers and stuff. I was pointing out to my wife this morning. This kid was like walking in Ellesmere, and he had on. Have you guys seen those shoes? I think they're Yeezys, but they look like they're fucking like H.R. Geiger, like
they
like
like
design.
Crocs?
They look like Crocs.
they're
like
the
wild
Yeezy
ass They are
Crocs
okay.
things,
And
yeah.
I said, honey, do you see those fucking shoes right there? She's like, ugh, they're so ugly. And she never talks about people's fashion. My wife is like the all accepting, like, she doesn't think like anyone's ugly. She'll never have a bad thing to say about anybody. And even she was like, those are disgusting. I was like,
Samus
I was like, I said, those are
your Metroid.
yeah, dude, yes, that's exactly. And I said, honey, those are like $1,000. And she was like, what? And I was like, I hope that kid does not get jumped for his sneakers today.
Like straight
They're
up.
all
Yeah.
fake too. They're like
Well, I
There's
don't.
that.
What are they like? Are they supposed to be cool, or are they supposed to be so ugly that they're hyped, or like what's the deal?
Well,
I
that's
have no
that's
idea.
all it is. It's just hype.
That's what
it's
I
just
thought.
Kanye.
Okay.
Well,
I
and it's
thought
like
that.
the
Hype is post looks now.
well, like
Oh,
Balenciaga,
yeah.
or how do you say it? Pronounce that fucking
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. All
Liz
the,
was
like,
talking about that
Balenciaga
today.
been
She was
around
talking about a
forever,
too.
Doritos
Oh, yeah.
bag purse or something.
yeah, and like these shit ass beat shoes that are like $4,000 and like
Crazy.
Well,
like, her-
I hope you all
Sad,
realize why they're doing things like that.
What do you, just for money? What do you
No, it's to get people talking about it.
Well, yeah,
I
no,
guess
I
that's-
know.
yeah,
That's how
I-
fashion has always been.
That's more powerful than them selling 100 of those bags.
Well, it's like, look
because
at-
people will buy stuff from that company forever.
Yeah, well,
just
look at-
knowing that that's the company that did
That's
that
how the stock
Dorito
market
bag.
works, I guess.
Yeah, well,
It
I mean,
is.
even punk rock,
It's marketing.
like punk rock, like the Sex Pistols were put together like a boy band so that they could sell the clothes at the store Sex, Vivienne Westwood, and now she's a huge name in fashion. She's the biggest name in fashion in the UK.
I feel like a lot like most of the most popular bands in the world were that like
Yeah, I
Like
think so.
manufactured together
yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
Paramore like
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, I
Hayley
never.
Williams was gonna succeed,
Yeah, she's a star.
but like the band
The
made
band was
more
kind of
success for
interchangeable.
her, like so
Sure. I mean, I didn't know anything about that band.
that's anecdotal. Most of what I say is anecdotal.
Oh,
This entire podcast is anecdotal.
there you go. Yeah.
Most podcasts are. That's okay.
But I would say like the band Fall Out Boy. Like they, first of all, they're a hit machine.
Yeah,
But
No.
like, no, I think they
Well, yeah,
always
always.
were. Like, so I read that book Sellout. I don't know if you guys have ever read that book. Great book about like the scene we three grew up in. I guess not so much you.
no,
right?
him too. Like
Yeah.
on the outskirts of it. His
Yeah.
brother was
Tangentially.
Yeah, I had
right?
an older brother that was in it, so I
That's
kind of
cool.
So,
got
yeah, you-
glimpses.
cool.
and
You
stuff.
tangentially did too, then
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's cool because when I think about it, because like it starts out with like I think the first chapter is about Green Day. So like how Green Day started, and then it was like Jawbreaker and like that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
I don't know. Like Fall Out Boy always interested me because it seemed like they started organically, but then they just got every sponsor like known to man. I mean, they were in cell phone commercials, and that guy Pete. Remember the bass player Pete Wentz? He was in everything.
Well,
dude.
Pete, like
He was a talking point.
well, as
Yeah.
like I think it's interesting that band specifically because like specifically like Andy Hurley, the drummer, he's in a bunch of punk rock and hardcore bands.
Yeah.
Like, all these super hardcore and punk rock adjacent people, understanding that a certain demographic of music is doing something substantial in
Sure.
in a market,
Yeah.
and being like we could do that, but like
I agree. Yeah.
like not in a way that it's like that is stupid, we can do that, just like no, like that we can do that,
Yeah.
and like that's like if we do it correctly,
Yeah.
people are gonna like it.
I agree. Yeah.
Like I've heard anecdotal stories about like them going to record their first full length record, and like Patrick Stump wasn't even sure if their drummer was going to show up.
well,
that
isn't their
day.
drummer? Wasn't he from like the hardline straight edge movement?
Yeah, vegan straight edge.
I don't know about hard line, but he's definitely
I'm pretty
XVX.
sure. No. I'm pretty sure he came from a band that like from that hardline scene because they. What was that fucking band? Shit, I can't remember. I was reading that book. It's called Straight Edge or whatever. But it was like the history. It shows the history of hardline. Straight
Hardline
edge.
is like a different.
I know.
Totally different thing.
I know, that's what
his older like, not metalcore, but like.
Well,
I guess
he
kind
were
of,
in Race Trader.
kind of
didn't start Race Trader,
metalcore.
but
They were in
it.
Race Trader.
Okay. I'm pretty sure though he got out of that when like the homophobia stuff started coming up out of the hardline movement.
Well, their singer is very political too. So
Who?
The singer of Race Trader. I can't remember his
Oh,
name,
okay.
but he's like he provides a really interesting perspective too. I like that band a lot. But
Like I remember there was one This Is Hardcore where Andy Hurley was there. Like this is recently. Like one that Tyler was at, and like he played like 3 sets at This Is Hardcore. That
they
like
were race. I was there. Race Trader played, Sect played, and he played another set too. I think
Wow.
he played with Earth Crisis or something.
that makes sense with the
Actually,
XVX.
I think he
connection.
actually
they
did
just
that.
put out an EP. What was it like this week or something or last week? It
Earth
just
Crisis?
popped. Yeah, like it just popped up in my thing because I never got into that. I got jumped at a hardcore show one time and I was like,
He's like, I'm out.
I was like, I don't want to
I'm
be because
good.
I was a punk rocker growing up. I had like leopard print hair and a mohawk and shit,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
and I was like, I don't want to be around these fucking like jock assholes because like that's when like FSU was like showing up at the Grange
Yeah,
and all that
yeah, I
shit.
remember.
You
I remember that.
Yeah. I got
04,
kicked out of the
5,
Grange a
6,
couple of
7.
times, and like just for guys being tough guys, you know, like, and
Luckily, that shit didn't last.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
I've been
I-
120 pounds since I was 14.
dude,
so I didn't
yeah,
really
and
have to
that's
worry about any of
yeah.
that.
Now I'm bigger now, but yeah, it was
Still.
like it
Going
was
for
shit like that.
The Mark Maron alpha pussy route. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you. I'm not telling them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you.
But yeah, I tried to like avoid like I always liked a lot of the music, but I tried to avoid that whole scene for a long time. But then I was reading about Earth Crisis and I was like, I want to check them out, and I ended up loving it. I remember I was texting you because I was away for like training and I was like working out, and I was like, I love it. This is a great band, and I like their message and everything. So I've been a vegetarian, you know, most of my life, and I thought it was kind of cool that they were all about that. But then I read about the hardline stuff, and I was like, oh, this is scary.
Hardline is a little. That's
It's
why I was
very-
saying Hardline is a little intense. I don't think Andy was ever like.
No, I
Something.
think he was in a band that was part of that scene. That it doesn't matter now. But what I'm saying is like I don't want to stay on this topic for like 20 minutes. But I think he was in a band that was a part of that scene. And then once they like the guy who was like in charge of all of it was like coming out all was like homophobic and stuff. They split.
And it's like, I feel like typical old douche shit.
It is. A lot of the punks back in the day were like that as well. Like you'd go to old punk shows and they were all fucking assholes, dude. Yeah,
It's just a part ingrained into our society. Like
yeah, it was.
normies are homophobic too.
Yeah, it's shitty. Yeah, I remember coming to UD, dude. I remember I came from Cab Calloway, dude. Like we were all weird or gay and different colors and
gay.
different races, and like I didn't know. Yeah, like I didn't know that. Like I guess I was living in fucking Hogwarts, you know, like and like compared to the rest of the world. So I remember
Basically.
I came here and I had like, you know, like a skunk stripe in my hair and shit, and I was like, you know, I had like tight pants on and stuff. This fucking like jock football player is just like, he's getting the ball, he's like, nice fucking pants. I was like, oh shit, like where am I right now? People would throw glass bottles in my head walking down this road all the fucking time, dude. They throw pennies at me. All kinds of shit, man.
Even up recently, I remember like I was living down the street on New London, so I'd walk here and to and fro, and that was when I was roasting real late. And there's a bunch of stories about like there was these like good old boys from Northeast or something that were rolling up in their F-350,
Yep.
picking them up, throwing them in the bed of the truck. There's a couple weeks there where I was walking home with the box cutter in the sleeve of my jacket.
Oh,
Just 'cause,
hell
like,
yeah.
I just, you know what I mean?
Well, you live off of
Just
Union
'cause.
now, right? So,
Yeah.
well, Union's not bad, I guess, but like I used to live
Not
on
Union,
Maple.
But 4th Street is not
Well,
great.
4th Street sucks.
I'm at
And
4th
M-
and Union.
and MLK.
Oh, you're on 4th and Union?
Yeah,
Literally.
right there,
Are
yeah.
you closer to Green Hill, Ev?
I'm like down the street from Urbina's and like Dead Presidents. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it can suck around there because I
Yeah.
used to live on Maple and I used to live on West 7th Street, which is right next to Oddity Bar.
Yeah, well, like the houses on either side of me are abandoned. That paints a picture.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Peaceful.
That's cool though. We
quiet.
should have you on again, and obviously you too. But you live like, I mean, fucking almost walking distance to my house.
Yeah, I
'Cause
can
I'm
walk-
right over the bridge in Ellesmere.
Yeah, I probably passed Mike Fresh on the way to you.
I was about to say, yeah, we
Guarantee
should
it's
grab
happened.
Mikey and we
I'd
should all
love
go.
to be on
We
with
should all
Fresh,
fucking.
dude. I miss that boy.
Yeah, we should all go skate.
Yeah, dude.
You should fucking get back into skating too, man.
My equilibrium's never been the same.
Nah,
It's hard for. It's very hard for me.
I can
That
imagine
sucks.
it's difficult.
Do you remember like when you were first learning how to skateboard, like what it's like to stand on the
Bro,
board?
I still push Mongo. I've been trying to get out of that habit for fucking 30 years.
Well, it's like I remember as a child going up the ramp for the first time and then just like going up and being like, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, all
that
the time.
feeling of like, where is up? I
Yep.
don't know.
Like literally when you're learning how to push and have one foot on the board, that
Yeah.
shaky, uneasy feel. That's what it feels like all the time when I skate. So
Sucks,
it's
dude.
very hard for me.
Well, we could all ride bikes together or something.
yeah.
Some
Me and
old head
that's
shit.
I ain't,
how-
no,
that's
I
how-
ain't no BMXer.
That's
Nah,
how
we
we
could
know.
ride
I'm
to
saying
the,
just regular bikes like you and I always do,
I know.
weirdo.
We'll hit the riverfront over to Old Newcastle.
Dude, my wife and I do that all the time. We go get ice cream at Jessup's.
Dude, I miss Jessup. We used to, when I was in the band with Tom, we used to be in Old Newcastle. I could
sure
walk to
did.
Jessup's.
Oh, you lived in Old Newcastle?
I lived right across the street from the SPCA.
Dude,
I remember
I'm
when
so
it
jealous.
I lived there when it caught fire.
Whoa.
Do you remember that?
No.
Sure do.
When was that?
So that was 2016. There was so I lived. Somebody was coming down the street right past my house. I think they had a heart attack while they were driving.
Holy
blew through the stop
shit.
sign, hopped over the median, drove through the
parking
parking
lot.
lot and right into the front of the SPCA.
Dude.
I was at the movies at the time, but there were like our neighbors were like running out of their house, like grabbing animals out of the building and like, putting them in their living rooms, and like it was wild.
Damn.
Old Newcastle.
Dude, we go to Old Newcastle all the time. Jessup's Tavern, that's our favorite restaurant. So we went there literally after our wedding. Like we went and hung out at the bar, and
Nice.
yeah, I love that place, man. I love all the old graveyards and stuff. I always film in there, and it's just awesome.
Pokemon Go is insane.
Dude, that's what my
Battery
wife says
Park.
all the
I
time at
lived there
Battery
when,
Park.
when that shit popped off.
popped
dude.
Oh my
off.
God.
It was absolutely absurd.
That's hilarious,
Like,
dude.
I would come home from work. I had like actually it was a little goat tumbler. You could fit 2 beers in it.
That is
Fill it up
cool.
and go do as many laps as I could till the tumbler was empty. I was like, cool, time to go home.
Damn, dude, that is so cool. Yeah, it's beautiful over there. That's cool. But yeah, that's rad that you live on Union now.
Man, I love it.
I want to keep talking about when you talked about working at Subway.
Oh my God.
I want to talk about shitty old jobs some more.
Well, let me tell you that
Ooh.
Okay. This is I don't
Ooh.
want to get too far into it, but
No, please.
So I told you when I was growing up, I had like a lesbian couple that was like raising me, like for part of my life.
That's important for any young man.
Well, it was for my family situation was like all fucked up. So there was like a lesbian couple that would watch me when my dad couldn't.
Okay.
So the one I was really close with, this one who worked with my dad. They had worked in the same company, and then her. I don't think they were married yet, but anyway, like her fiance. So I would always be with them. They would help raise me, all this shit. Well, then they split up, and then my friend, who was like a second mom to me, ended up with this other woman who was just like, as soon as I met her, I could tell she was a piece of shit. Well, she was the fucking owner of that Subway franchise. So she hires me because her
She knows you.
her new fiance is, yeah. She's like, telling her, oh yeah, hire Matt. Well, fucking, I'm working there for a couple months.
This was where?
This was Subway.
Where?
In Newark on Main Street.
Okay.
That one that used to be right there.
Oh,
dude.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
I
It used to
got
be in
you.
the parking lot where the ramen place is at and all that shit. It was called Trader's Alley. I think it's
I
still
could
called
also-
Trader's Alley, right?
I could also throw a rock and hit it. from
Yeah.
here.
So
Okay.
first of all, that job, like I think that was my first like real like teenager job. Like I used to deliver papers and shit like that when I was a kid, but yeah. So I'm working there. You already know the service industry. You get treated like fucking dog shit. So especially by the
Sure do.
college kids, by the homeless people, by everybody coming in late at night, just being assholes. I knew she was doing shady shit out of the back, but then they hired this fucking piece of shit drug addict that I just, every time I talked to him, I just hated him more and more. This kid Mike, I fucking hope he's dead now. I swear to God. This kid was like, and then so he would come in with these fucked up stories. He's like, man, my mom kicked me out of my house, and I was like, why? And he'd be like, well, I got all fucked up on acid and I stole her car. And I
Acid?
crashed it, and I was like, "Yeah, you deserve to be kicked out, bro." And he'd be like, "Yeah, I guess." And then, yeah,
This guy stinks!
yeah. So then my friend and the woman who hired me, that same couple, they legally adopted him. And I told them
Oh,
straight
man.
up, I said, you guys, that's a really bad idea, because what he did to them, he started stealing money from them. He crashed their fucking car into somebody's like house. That's what reminded me of all that shit when you were talking about the dude. He stole the fucking car. So then, yeah, they were talking. So I was like, dude, I'm out of here. So it turns out she was dealing drugs in the back. Like I knew like shady shit. I quit that fucking job because I had like wrestling season, or I just made up. I was like, yeah, I got wrestling and all this shit. And then I started selling windows and siding door to door, which was like
Pinnacle Energy?
Pinnacle Energy. Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Of course, bro. I think it's a rite of it's a rite of passage. That
In Delaware.
and then I became a
Jesus.
janitor over at the Hercules building.
Dude,
and that was
so
like
many
the
people
best.
I know have done that
Dude,
job.
What
What
a
a
piece of shit
terrible
job.
job.
What a shit.
Oh my
Wait, when you were
God.
there, was there a guy there named John, or maybe Jonathan,
John!
and he would drive you, and he would listen to
Yes.
fucking Jeopardy in the
Dude.
car. Dude, that's so funny.
Jeopardy.
That guy was terrible.
I mean,
Just a
he
terrible guy.
had been working there since he was like that age, and I think he just never.
Just never left.
Yeah, just.
Do you
How
guys
does
have an
one
email?
listen?
Like, do you guys have an email address? Let's hear your John stories.
John
We do
Stories,
have an
sure
email
do.
address, yeah.
Thank you for your services at gmail.com.
Yeah, dude.
You're
that-
spelled
I
you
wonder
are.
if that guy's still around. But anyway, that lady who I didn't like, she ended up fucking dying a couple years ago,
Oh man,
and I was like, well,
that stinks.
could be for the best.
Maybe.
Yeah, she was a piece of shit. Like I knew it straight off the bat. She was like not a good person, bro. There was other shit that went down. But anyway, that was trying to make a long story short. I don't want to take up their whole goddamn night, but yeah, fuck that Subway. I remember.
I'm glad it's
I remember this
gone.
homeless dude coming in one time, whole dick out, trying to pay me in quarters for a fucking
Yep.
sandwich. I did what I could for him, but
Was it bobblehead?
this was must have been like 2007. Yeah, summer of 2007. Jesus. Yeah.
It was a good year.
I was like just turning 17. Yeah.
That was kind of a good year. I want to be honest.
It was okay. Yeah. Yeah, had some good times then.
I was 9.
I started going to shows. I was skateboarding all
I
the
think
time.
I just got my license.
I remember getting a skateboard at Switch, like an old school board, because I only skate the old school boards. Man.
the fishy boy.
So
Yeah,
this
that's-
was a
that's him,
fishtail,
yeah.
but it still had pop in the front. Now I skate the straight in the front with the fishtail pop in the back. I skate like a Pal Peralta board.
Cool.
And then I have a couple blank decks like that I just throw good trucks and wheels
Cadillac
on.
John.
Yeah, I love it. It's fucking cool, man.
Dude, what? I think I told the story of when I worked my worst job of all time was also on Main Street. I did delivery at Wings to Go, which eventually turned into Wings to Go / Freddy's, and now I think it's just Freddy's on Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I
Was that pre-Zoomer or was that for Zoomer?
what do you mean Zoomer?
Like Gen Z?
No, there was like a.
Is that an app or something?
It was.
Oh.
Oh, it was
okay.
pre.
I remember that one.
It was
Yeah.
pre, and there was no there. Luckily, there were no online ordering for delivery was like a brand new thing, and they had their own like version of it through the website for that location. And yeah, we'd have to deliver online orders. Those were actually a little easier though because people tipped ahead of time. Unlike if you did a traditional delivery where these college kids around here would just fucking straight up stiff you.
Yeah.
Dude,
That job sucked with a capital S. I hated that fucking job.
My friend would do deliveries for like Wings to Go a lot. That shit was fucking horrible.
It's brutal.
Especially around here. College kids don't have any money.
No, and the food stinks, and it'll make a mess in your car if you're not careful. And
Yeah,
shit.
that's the thing I remember. It's just your car smells like chicken wings and there's like sauce.
Are there a ton of asshole kids that come in here, or is it mostly pretty good people?
Honestly, their parents are
Oh, their parents are way
like
worse.
parents' weekend.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Kids
Damn.
are actually
That
pretty
actually
respectful,
makes
to be
sense.
honest.
That's good.
We're like, I feel like we're in this weird like age of like kids parenting their parents. It's like really.
we absolutely are.
Yeah, well, there's so much more awareness of how to act right in a establishment now. Like, fucking older people, as soon as they leave their house, they think they're on vacation. Like, they can just treat whoever, however they want.
That's a great point.
Yeah, and like now that we have TikTok and Instagram, and like people will like post like,
Google,
"Hey, this
YouTube.
fucking asshole didn't tip today," or whatever. Like now, like our generation, and even I guess you're not too far off from us. Like you know, everybody's aware, but
Yeah, like Jay was saying last week, the world got smaller with the
yeah,
internet.
it really did. Yeah,
Well, like you guys were saying about those young kids, the younger kid, did they start up Save Old Newark or right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm
Like
pretty
there's
sure
a perfect example. Like younger
That's
kids
really cool.
have all the information and they're pushing it out there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Well, it's like today. I was so excited. My favorite like current artist.
Oh right.
He knew my basically somebody posted something on Reddit of a musician that I'm obsessed with since 2014 named Sam Haynes. He makes Halloween music, like
Get it, Sam
synth.
Hain.
Yeah, yeah. He makes
I
like
like that.
Halloween synth music. Well, I posted under it like, oh, this is my favorite fucking artist. I have all of his albums, all this shit. And then they posted under it was like, hey, I'm a fan of yours too. Like I know this song and I was like, wait, are you Sam Hain's? And like he was like, maybe. And then we talked more and we're gonna do a collaboration. And I was like, damn, the world really is small. Like I've been listening to this dude for forever, and like now like
And now
you're just connected with the person. It's
exactly.
super cool. Yeah, man.
So we said that on this episode of The Wire I just watched. World's getting smaller.
Yeah, man.
And aren't they
What
right?
a great time.
Yeah.
The Wire.
Dude, what do you think? Is this a good time?
Yeah. You want to wrap it up? 'Cause
Sure.
I gotta wake up at 5 tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I have a big day tomorrow too, so
I don't even know what time it
I'm
is.
right there with
Is
you.
it almost-
It doesn't matter.
it's like
Well,
almost 9.
please follow us on Instagram at thanksforyourservices_podcast. The links to all of our socials and all of the platforms that the show can be found on are in the bio. TikTok is there, YouTube is there, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good shit.
Any of your podcatchers.
that thing that he
Fucking hates when I say that.
He swears it's called that.
It is. It's called a podcatcher.
Sure, why not?
Sounds like it could be true.
Thanks for your services _podcast.
And if you don't do social media in any way, we also have email.
Mhm.
And that is thankYouForUrServices@gmail.com. You're spelled the letters UR.
Yeah.
And you can email us anything anonymously, or if you want us to say your name, we'll say your name. Any stories, any feedback. If you love Tommy but hate me, you can tell us.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then you can take that email and shove it up your ass.
Lame joke.
You have any John?
Brother, this guy
If you have any, what was it, Joe or John?
John stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
John.
stories.
Pinnacle John.
Yeah.
Yep. Pinnacle John.
Yeah, dude. Do you guys have anything you want to plug? Your business?
Anything good coming up for the goat?
We got a bunch of beers coming out.
Beers?
Like 4.
Yeah, there's going to be one for Dewey Beer Company. We're doing a collaboration.
Cool.
First State Brewing Company. We're doing a collaboration.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Two Stones.
Two Stones.
We're doing a small batch, and I'm probably missing some, but if you're
It'll
a
be
beer
there.
drinker, keep your
Keep your-
eyes out.
Keep your eyes to.
Yeah. They'll
Was
be,
it at
they'll be
Lit-
on the gram.
What is
Okay.
it? At Little Goat
Coffee roasting.
Coffee Roasting.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. Very, very cool. Well, thank you guys. It was really awesome to meet
Seriously.
Dude, thank you
you.
for
Yeah.
having us.
for
I'm
having
definitely going
us.
to take the wife here. Yeah.
And-
Oh, absolutely.
And
Come through
the
whenever.
fucking it cannot be understated. The biggest fucking thank you to Olivia for making this shit possible. Not just the coffee shop, but this very episode. So shout out to Olivia too.
Yeah. All right.
you, boss.
Stay strong out there, and
Thank you.
thank you for your services, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being with us all this time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for your